Hi everyone, welcome to Fluid Spine. We are going to begin standing today. We're going to make our way down. Most of this class will take place on the mat. Not a strenuous class, just a really nice, feel-good, but also functional movement class for your spine. So let's go ahead and begin. Start in Tadasana, feet hip distance apart. Bring your palms to face forward, bringing those scapulas together behind your back. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Big sigh out your mouth. And bring your lips together, starting to breathe in and out through your nose. And right away today, bring your attention down into the soles of your feet, picking up your toes. Feel the weight grounded evenly in all four corners of your feet. And spread your toes wide, ground down through your pinky toes, and then let the rest of your toes follow, spreading them out as you go. Good. And keeping a little bit of a bend in your knees, engage your thigh muscles, lifting your kneecaps, and press your heels away from each other without leaning back into the heels, right? Just press your heels apart. And you should feel your butt kind of naturally want to stick out a little bit. Your sitting bones will widen. And then from here, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your tailbone draw down towards your heels. Not like you're tucking your tailbone, just enough to lengthen your lower back. And with that action, your lower belly lifts up, lengthen up through the crown of your head and the back of your neck as you take your shoulder blades to kiss behind your back. Reach down through your fingertips, straightening through the arm bones. Take a deep breath in, lengthening from the soles of your feet through the crown of your head. Exhale, draw your front ribs in, navel to spine. And with an inhale, just open your eyes and stretch your arms all the way up overhead. And then as you exhale, take your hands behind your head, interlacing those fingers. Bring your shoulder blades to kiss behind you. Take a big breath in, lengthen your tailbone down, but lift your heart up. Maybe press your head into your hands slightly. Good. And then as you breathe out, elbows come towards each other. Pull your belly in. Drop the shoulder blades down, start to round through your cervical spine. So chin comes into chest. Now begin to round through your thoracic spine. That's your upper back. And then the lower back will be the last to round. I want you to put a big bend in your knees. Think about taking those elbows all the way down towards your knees, but it's perfectly fine if your elbows don't touch. In fact, don't even try to touch them. Just let your head get heavy at the bottom. Good. And then inhale, we'll roll right back up. So use the strength in that lower abdomen. Pit of the belly draws in as you press into your feet. Feel your spine rolling back up, lightening up in the hands so you're not pulling on your neck once you get to the top. Good. And then with the top of your breath, top of your position, take another in-breath. So inhale, open the elbows wide, press your head into your hands, lengthen tailbone towards heels. And then let the breath out start your journey back down. Elbows come in, chin comes to chest, round through that upper back, mid back, lower back. Zipping up your lower belly at the bottom. Good. And then come back up. Inhaling to start the journey up. Pull navel to spine, using that core strength, leg strength. Lighten up those arms at the top. Inhale again as you lift your heart. This time we'll exhale, curl back down, one vertebra at a time. And then when you reach the bottom, don't rush. Just release your hands all the way down. Good. You can kind of grab opposite elbows, shift your weight from side to side as you gently sway from one side to the other. Let your head be nice and heavy. Keeping a little bit of a bend in the knees. Good. And then from here, halfway lift, inhale. Bend your knees in your halfway lift. Pull your belly button in again, squeezing that lower core. Squeeze the scapulas together on your back body. And then exhale. Bow forward, option to work towards straight legs in your fold, lifting up through the sitting bones, engaging your thighs. Inhale, bend your knees, go for length. Keep the weight in the center of the feet, squeeze the scapulas together. Back of the neck presses towards the ceiling. Exhale, press down into the floor with your feet. Lift your sitting bones, let the head go completely, and fold. One more time. Inhale, deep bend in the knees. Shoulder blades hug back. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Good. This time, inhale, halfway lift. Plant the palms. Go ahead and step back into your downward facing dog. Once you arrive there, just start to pedal your feet out, gently pressing one hip back at a time, creating some length through the side body. Okay, and then lift your heels up. And we'll go ahead and drop both heels to the right. From here, press into your left hand. The hips are heavy towards the right. Keep a lot of weight in that left hand, though. The chest and shoulders are still square to the ground. And then maybe bend your knees a little bit, pressing your heart back towards your ankles. Really press down into that left arm in that nice lateral stretch. Okay, then make your way back up through center. Lower your heels to the left. Same thing. Press down into the right hand this time. Press to lift the hips high. And then bend the knees. Melt the chest back towards the heels. Good. Relax your head, relax your face. Feel that stretch in the right side as you lower the right ribs towards the ground. Good. And then inhale back through to center. Soften the heels down. With a breath in, roll your body forward towards plank. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin towards the ground. Inhale into a cobra. Lift your heart. Squeeze your elbows towards your side body. And exhale, release. Extend your left arm out in front of you. We're going to weave our right arm underneath our left, taking that right shoulder head towards the ground, and slide your left knee up in line with the left hip. Ankle is in line with the knee is in line with the hip. Then from here, take your right ear towards the ground or a block. Take your left hand towards that hip, that left hip. And I want you to find a square hip so that your sacrum is basically perpendicular with the wall next to you. Stacking left hip over right. And keeping your hand there, gently roll your left shoulder back a little bit more, bringing your gaze to face the ceiling. Keep zipping up your lower belly, and creating a little bit of strength in the core, right? Just to support that lower back area. Good. If you're feeling good here, maybe extend your left arm out towards the left, bringing your gaze that way as well. I'm going to take my left hand behind my head just because that feels good in my chest. I'm pressing down into the back of my right hand to facilitate more twist. And big breath into that left rib cage. Big breath out. Good. And then slowly unwind. Make your way into a Sphinx pose. So both forearms are going to come down onto the ground. Spread your fingers wide. Pull that lower belly in and then pull your chest forward as if you're trying to bring it between the shoulders. Good. Lift your right elbow, weave your left arm underneath. The left shoulder comes down. Good. You'll bring your right knee up in line with the right hip, ankle in line with the knee, and then take your right hand to your right hip bone or your sacrum. You can rest your left ear down. And then from here, start to rotate the right shoulder back. Your gaze can come up towards the ceiling. Again, we want a little bit of a heavy tailbone here, so I want that lower back is going to twist a little bit, but I want most of the work here in that upper back, the rib cage area. So that's why we want to keep this sacrum nice and square. And keeping your low belly engaged, can you use the back muscles in the upper right side to pull your right rib cage back a little bit more. Keep pressing your right hip bone away from your face, and that's going to help lengthen the lower back. Take your right arm out to the side if that feels good. Take some nice big breaths. Big inhale. And then exhale, slowly unwind. Taking the right knee back, ground both hands down by your ribs and simply press up and back into a child's pose. Let your forehead rest. Let the hips be heavy. And then gently walk your hands in towards your knees. And from here, we're just going to simply lean over to one hip, take the legs out in front of us, and right away, make your way into a wide-legged forward fold. So I'm going to turn my body to face you guys. If you wish to turn lengthwise on your mat, you can, but you don't have to. And then from here, just remove any flesh from underneath your sitting bones real quick. We're just going to take a nice big breath in and lengthen the spine. If you feel really tight in your hamstrings today, roll up a blanket or a pillow or sit on a block or the blanket or pillow, right? Just to lift the hips up a little bit. That's going to make this feel a little easier. Flex those legs, so toes flex towards the ceiling. Walk your hands forward as much as comfortable. And all we're going to do is sort of bring our right rib cage towards the right, and then lower the belly towards the ground, and then swing that rib cage over towards the left side, and then pull it back, rounding the spine. So I call these barrel rolls, right? You're imagining that your trunk, your torso is inside a barrel, and you're trying to scrape all edges of that barrel, right? So we want the hip bones to stay pretty grounded here, and just begin to make those circles with the rib cage, finding both lateral side bending here and some flexion and extension of the spine. And the movements might start out a little bit small. That's okay. If it's uncomfortable, you can just walk those hands in. You can do this sitting up all the way. You can do it down on your forearms, right? So just figure out what's going to work for you today. Let's switch direction. Those legs nice and active, and really try to exaggerate the movements, using those core muscles to help move the spine. Good. And then from here, walk your hands in a little bit, lift your heart up, take a nice big breath. And exhale, we'll fold forward. So that fold might look like you're moving an inch forward. It might look like you're flat on the ground. It might look like you're sitting up basically straight tall. So you figure out what works for you today in terms of folding. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Try to keep your legs active and try to keep your spine long. So now we do not want to round the spine. I want you to pull the belly in, pull your chest forward, shoulder blades squeeze behind you a little bit just to work those upper back muscles. Make sure you're not collapsing in the chest. And slowly walk your hands in. Bring your right hand over towards your right foot or your right shin or inner thigh. Send your left arm up towards the ceiling. Get nice and long here. Root down through both sitting bones, especially the left one, and then pull your left shoulder back. Look up at your left hand. Maybe you slide your right arm down the leg a little bit more. Stretch your left arm overhead if that feels good. If you start to collapse your chest down, I'd rather have your arms straight up. Keep working the head of your left shoulder back. And then get as long as you can from left hip As you plug that left thigh bone in towards your hip, can you stretch through your arm a little bit more? Good. Breathing into the left waist and left rib cage. Inhale, make your way back through to center. Release your left arm down. Exhale. Inhale, the right arm goes up. Gently press down through the right hip and start the side bending on the other side. All right, so your side bends are probably not going to be symmetrical. Mine are nowhere near symmetrical. I have pretty severe scoliosis in my spine, and most people have some scoliosis, right? They have some kind of curve in their back or imbalance in muscularly even. So just mind that. It is okay if they don't look the same. Maybe you're breathing into some other part of your body on this side than you did on the other, and that's perfectly fine. Good. Stretch through the fingertips. Shoulder blades draw back and together. Good. Big breath in. And slowly release. Okay. Release your right hand down again. Sorry, that's our right side. Left arm is going to go up. This time take your right hand behind your head. Left hand behind your head. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm out of practice mirroring. Okay, so left hand is behind our head. Right hand is down on the ground or your shin. We're going to open up the spine, pressing the head into the hand. Look up past your left elbow. And as you exhale, we're going to turn our body down towards our right thigh and work towards taking the left elbow towards the right knee. Again, don't force it. Don't pull on your head. Inhale to open. Exhale, elbow towards the knee. Round the spine. Hug your lower belly in. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower. Inhale, open. From here, stretch your left arm up and across. Let's come right over to the other side. Inhale, right arm goes up. Exhale, hand behind the head. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale, curl down. Right elbow towards left knee. Belly button hugs in. Inhale as you open. Exhale, keep plugging that right hip bone down into the floor. Inhale to open. Exhale, round. Good. Then inhale, open back up. Release the arm, reach up tall, come back up through center. Whew. Inhale. Exhale, we fold forward again. 3 deep breaths. Relax your face. And then slowly walk your hands in. We're going to face our right knee. Bend the right knee, bringing the heel in, and then roll towards that knee. We're going to add in a bend to the left knee as well, just a little one, kind of like a little mini pigeon, but we're leaning towards that right hip, okay? Then walk your fingers out in front. There's a little bend in the back knee. Your toes are pointed out towards the side, and we're just going to start those barrel rolls again, okay? So nice big circles in one direction with the torso. And so we're using the movement in the spine here to kind of bring some space into the hips. Change the direction. And then from here, bring your chest forward, 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 and then down as if you're in a pigeon. Right? Instead, that back leg is kind of in a frog-like position, right? If this bothers your hip in any way, you can come into a full pigeon pose, you guys, lifting your back heel up, take the back leg straight back behind you if that feels better. Okay, for me, it actually feels really nice on that left hip, so I'm going to keep this. You want to flex your back foot and press the ankle down in towards the floor. Okay, take one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then slowly unwind, making your way back up. Right away, you can lift your left knee up and pull the foot in, and we'll just rotate directly over to the other side. So again, we take that left knee into a pigeon-like stance. Back leg is in that frog-like position with the foot flexed, toes pointing out. And we'll begin by walking the hands towards the back of your mat and just start to make circles with the torso. You can really exaggerate the movement. You can bring movement into the shoulders. Let the movement of the spine bring movement into your neck even, which is part of your spine, but I think sometimes we forget that. We forget to move it. Okay, turn or change your direction. Good. And then lengthen your spine forward and then down. You can, again, move your back leg so it's more like pigeon, or you can stay as you are. Taking a couple big breaths. It always helps to get into the hips a little bit when we work with the spine, just because the legs are what, and the hips are what move the spine a lot, right? Especially in yoga, a lot of the work that we do with our legs will position the spine in a certain way. So getting them all loosened up too will just help you, make you feel even more fluid. Let's walk the hands back in. You're going to turn back towards the side of your mat. This time, let's bring the soles of the feet together to touch. We'll sit up nice and tall with the breath in. Walk those feet out in front of you a little bit. If you want, you can weave your forearms under your shins if that feels good. Grab a hold of the tops of your feet. Breath in as you lift and lengthen your spine. Breath out. Pull your chest forward, 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 and then down. You've gone as far forward as you can. Then you can go ahead and relax your neck here. Keep pressing weight back into those sitting bones. Take one more deep breath into your lower back. Deep breath out. And slowly unwind. Okay, and then come into just a comfortable seated position. Actually, just kidding, we're going to finish lying down. Bring your knees together. If you're turned towards the side, you can shift so that you're facing the top of your mat once again. Bring your knees into your chest, coming to lying down. Just rock from side to side. And then to finish up today, we'll take our feet down onto the mat with your knees bent and bring your feet mat distance apart, so nice and wide. And then allow the knees to rest together to touch. You should feel a natural curve happen up in the lower back area. That's good. We're relaxing all the muscles in the lower back, this position. So it's really nice. Just let your hands rest on your body. You can take a hand to your belly, a hand to your chest. And just give yourself a couple minutes here if you have the time. Feeling your sacrum nice and grounded. Your back muscles soft. Let the backs of the shoulders be heavy. Your face to be relaxed. And just notice the effects of your practice today. Marinate here for as long as you wish. Thank you so much for practicing, yogis. I'll see you next time. Namaste.